Hi guys, good morning. Coffee, oh my gosh. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to film just a chill, super casual Q&A. So I asked on my Instagram for some questions. I'm gonna try to get through as many as possible. I probably won't be able to get to all of them, but let me stop blabbing. We can just, jump right in. Gosh, let's start with a very deep question first. Thoughts on cancel culture? A few I've seen advocated for are actually YouTube moms. I didn't know that. So my thoughts on cancel culture, and I'll preface this by just saying I am not an expert on global movements. I don't claim to be an expert in anything, to be honest. And sometimes my thoughts are not quite as eloquent as I'd like them to be. Also, my coffee cup is pretty full, so like we're still waking up here. But my thoughts on cancel culture are as follows. I 1000% agree with accountability culture and holding people accountable, whether that's YouTube stars or your favorite celebrities or your cousin or your mom or your dad or your husband, your wife. I 1000% think that this global movement for justice and equality is long overdue and completely appropriate. The only time that I think cancel culture can be a little detrimental is if we aren't pairing that with forgiveness in circumstances where forgiveness is warranted. So if someone did something or said something in their past and has since acknowledged and apologized for said action, and we aren't willing to forgive them, then there's no, then where's the finish line, right? Like where's the growth and the development on both ends? However, if someone has said that they have changed and they've done all this work on themselves and they keep repeating the same old behavior over and over again, then I think canceling them is appropriate. So I think as long as we all stay very smart and educated on holding people accountable, and we keep our hearts open and we keep forgiveness at the forefront, then I think that accountability culture is absolutely 1000% necessary for us to like grow and evolve as a species. And if said person isn't evolving, said person isn't changing, they're still displaying very destructive and awful ways, then of course, like, that person shouldn't have a platform. That person shouldn't be allowed to just get away with anything. The point is to hold people accountable so that they can grow and change, That's what we need, change. So those are my thoughts on cancel culture. I hope that made sense. Next question is, are you based in New York/New Jersey? I've had a few questions about like, where are you from? Where do you live? And I'm gonna be a little bit vague because I don't wanna pinpoint exactly where I live, but yes, I was born and raised in New York. My family is in New York. I also have family in New Jersey, which I think a lot of people guess that I'm from New Jersey because of my accent. How do you think Hugo will react to the new baby? Does he know now he's the cutest? Thank you. I think it's gonna be an adjustment. I think it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard. Like, let's be so real. It's gonna be tough. And he's 2. We've explained to him about the baby. There are things for the baby in our house. He just doesn't get it yet, and I don't think he will until the baby's here, and it's gonna be an adjustment, and it's gonna be hard, and he's gonna want me at certain times, and I won't be able to go with him because I'll be nursing, and it's gonna be tough, but that's life. Life is tough. Not a question, but look forward to your birth plan video. Fellow 4th degree tear survivor. I feel ya. And yeah, I will get that birth plan up once I speak to my doctor and we get our plan together. I'm so curious as to what video editing program you use. So a YouTube question. I use iMovie. Super simple, super basic, love it. Who are you friends with at Disney Winky Face? I was friends with Belle and Dale. Those were like my BFFs. And then I also was friends with Max, Goofy's son. I was friends with was I friends with the White Rabbit? No, I was friends with maybe once. No, I don't think I ever was. I was friends with Remy from Ratatouille, it's like my favorite movie of all time. I was friends with Mickey Mouse in one of the stage shows. I was friends with Turk in one of the stage shows. And those were like the main ones. Are you guys done after baby number 2, or would you like to have more? I had a lot of questions about how many kids we want. So just keeping it super real with you, I like to take this question one kid at a time, one baby at a time, because I think it's very circumstantial. I think right now that I'd love to have 3 kids, and I think Jeff could be on board with that as well. But I also completely understand and would understand if my heart changed on that, because of how difficult raising kids is. Raising kids, little babies and little toddlers, is so difficult. And Hugo, you guys know Hugo didn't sleep well. And so if this baby doesn't sleep well, like, I'm going to be a legit zombie by like this time next year. So I definitely like want to take it one day at a time. Also, it's a huge commitment financially. It's a huge commitment like emotionally and spiritually, mentally. It's a huge commitment across the board. And so I can definitely, like, when I was little, it was my dream to have 2 boys and a girl. And like, you can't pick, you can't choose. So I can see myself with 3 kids for sure. But I'm also giving myself grace, knowing how hard our first baby was, that like, that might change. Disney World or Disneyland? Okay, I'm gonna go with Disney World because that's my home park. The few times that I have been to Disneyland, I've absolutely adored it and I've loved it. And I haven't been in so long, but I'm gonna go with Disney World. Favorite Disney World attractions. My top Disney World attractions are Peter Pan's Flight in Fantasyland. Love. The Haunted Mansion. What else? The People Mover. Just chilling, sitting. Awesome. Carousel of Progress is such a classic. I love it. Again, such a great opportunity to just sit in air conditioning and chill. I know I'm going to love the Ratatouille ride in Epcot in the France Pavilion once it opens, and once we go, I know I'm gonna love it. Those are like my top attractions. If you would star in any Broadway show, what would it be? I love this question. So I'll just preface this by saying that I am tone deaf and cannot sing to save my life. So although I can dance, like I probably could never be in a Broadway show because I cannot sing. And I worked on it and it just never worked out for me. But that being said, we did just watch Hamilton on Disney Plus, and it is amazing. It's so amazing. It is just as good as everyone says it is. So I would say any of the Schuyler sisters. I think I would really love the Peggy Mariah track. I think that is really interesting. But if I could sing like Philippa Sue and I could play Eliza, like, get out of town. Of course I would love to do that. And like, if I could sing like Renee Elise Goldsberry, like, get out of town, I would love to play Angelica. So any of them would be awesome. And also I would love to play Anastasia. And Anastasia, my family is Russian, and so like all of that ornate, gorgeous jewelry and hair and gowns, that's like, oh, it speaks to my soul. What are your plans on how to survive with a newborn while having a toddler? What are my plans on how to survive? So, okay, my main plan that I don't know is going to happen is that my in-laws would be able to come and stay and help, and like, so would my family, right? Like, that we would have a lot of family help, and we're so blessed to have family who are able to help and willing to help. And so that is like that's like the #1 plan. The #1 plan is for the beginning, when I'm recovering from a cesarean section and I have a toddler and a newborn, that I have help. Now, with the pandemic, that all of that is like really in question, because will there be a vaccine by November? Will the border be open by November? If you didn't know, the Canadian-US border is currently closed. And so there's a lot of big ifs. And if no one is able to help, and if it's Jeff and I and the baby and the newborn, like, we will make it work. My tips for survival is truly just to take it one day at a time, and to not put pressure on myself to like do anything else other than food, make sure everyone's okay, and that's it. You know, like, there won't be any like extra, and I won't put that pressure on myself because I know it's gonna be insane. Must have first time baby items, mom baby items. I would say, okay, number one, wipes warmer. It sounds ridiculous, it sounds superfluous, but I'm telling you, like, it'll change your like diaper changing life. I would also say DockATot, not necessarily for co-sleeping. We actually used ours as like a changing mat, as like a travel changing pad, and anytime you want to put the baby down when they're really little, the DockATot is amazing. And then anything else, if I think of anything else, I'll mention it in the rest of this video. That's all I can mention off the top of my head. Which stroller do you use and would you recommend? So I'm actually gonna make a whole review video on the Chico Bravo umbrella stroller, which is the one that I would recommend and I absolutely love. It's the one that we take to Arizona, or have taken to Arizona every year. It's the one we took to Disney World. It's the one we took on a Disney cruise. It's just amazing. So that's the one. I'll link it down below, but know that I'll also do a whole review video on it. That's only a single stroller though, and so for this next baby, we are gonna get the UPPAbaby Vista, the double stroller. So are you guys doing anything to prep Hugo for baby brother? So like I said, it's tough because he doesn't really understand. I would say the only thing we're doing to like prep him is anytime he starts getting really aggressive and like boisterous, which toddlers do, we just make sure that he knows what the word gentle means. So if he starts getting like kind of nutty, we'll say like gentle, gentle, or anytime, like Elsie, my cat, anytime he is trying to chase her, or like when he goes to pet her, we'll say gentle, gentle, and he knows what that means. So I feel like that's a good start. Did you prepare for your first time birth / labor? Were you scared? I'm so scared. Don't be scared. Like, I would say, do your research, talk to your doctor, feel very comfortable with your doctor or your midwife, ask the questions you need to ask. I didn't prepare, but it's so tough because like you don't know what to expect. You're not gonna know until you're in it. And so you can prepare like medically, and you can prepare by taking classes at your local hospital or birthing center. But beyond that, I think really like prepare yourself mentally to be really strong, and prepare your partner, whoever's gonna be there with you, to be mentally strong too. And then just like give it to God, like let it go, and know that like what is meant to be will be, and like you will be safe and loved, and it'll be great. Advice for being pregnant for the first time: enjoy it, because this is going to sound crazy, especially in the beginning when you might be experiencing a lot of nausea and morning sickness. Enjoy it, it goes by so fast. And this is like, I have to take my own advice, because I find myself sometimes struggling and thinking like, oh, I just want him to be here, I can't wait to see him, I'm so big, I'm so tired, my back hurts, yada yada. But honestly, it really does go by so quickly. So just enjoy it. Have any fears or anxiety about pregnancy and or the new baby? I don't have any pregnancy anxieties beyond the like normal. When I go to my doctor's appointment, I feel like, okay, I hope that everything's okay, I hope everything checks out, and hope everything's okay with him. In terms of anxieties about the new baby, yeah, I have anxiety that he's not gonna sleep. And the sleep deprivation with Hugo was real, was super real, and was so hard. And so my biggest anxiety is that we will be sleep deprived. My camera battery is flashing, of course. That we will be sleep deprived, and it'll be really tough. And so I don't, you know, we're gonna put certain things, like we're gonna have certain things in place so that hopefully we're not in the same position that we were with Hugo, and we have like ideas in our head of like the things in the schedules we're gonna follow. But that's kind of the fear. What are you planning to do differently parenting baby number 2? So many things, so many things. First and foremost, getting that baby on a schedule earlier, sooner, and like making it a strict schedule. And I know that's not for everyone, and that's kind of controversial, but I think for us as a family of 4 with a toddler and a baby, like it's just gonna be better for our family, and it's gonna be better for my mental health. So schedule earlier. I would love, once he starts eating, to be able to teach him how to eat more independently. Hugo is not an independent eater. It's not his fault. We babied him and still baby him. Like there's 2 parents, 1 child, and we donut him all the time. And so I just wish that he were a little more independent. And so I'm hoping that I can make this next little one more independent, like a more independent sleeper, a more independent eater, or just like independence all around. How to keep the romance alive during pregnancy. I feel sick all the time. I feel ya. I feel ya. Here's what I'm gonna say. Like, your husband might not like it. You have to honor how you're feeling. This is such a short season of life. It's gonna come and it's gonna go. If you don't feel good, don't force yourself to be intimate. Like, be honest with your partner, and there are other ways during pregnancy especially, and like the newborn stage, that like intimacy might not mean physical intimacy, it might mean emotional intimacy. And again, that's like not exactly what your husband's gonna wanna hear, but if you're not feeling good, like, what's the point, you know? And it's better to honor how you're feeling. If you're feeling really sick and you're feeling really gross, then like just wait. And I promise you guys will get back to like a new normal, whatever that is and looks like for your family, and you'll like, it'll be fine, it'll be okay. Again, just think of this as like it's a different season of life. Do you have any long-term plans with your career? Any plans after YouTube? I don't. I would love for YouTube to be something, like to be a career of sorts, like it kind of is right now, and I would love for it to continue to be. And then after that, I don't know. I've done so many different fun things in my life, and I just hope that that continues. I love helping people. I love talking to people, and so maybe there's something like that in the future. I love, yeah, there's so many things that I love doing. I love writing. I love performing in certain, like talking to people, and so we'll see. I'm kind of open to wherever the wind takes me. What is your dream job? Honestly, my dream job is exactly what I'm doing right now. So getting to be a mom, getting to be home with my kids, and getting to do this, getting to do YouTube. This is such like a fun, creative outlet and something for me. Favorite part of YouTube, least favorite part of YouTube. My favorite part of YouTube is just like the work involved, like all of this like filming and then editing and uploading and talking to you guys and creating this amazing community. Like, honestly, all of it is my favorite. It sounds like so cliche, but it is. And my least favorite, I don't know. I guess just me comparing myself to other creators, and like me creating these milestones in my head that I have to reach, even though I don't need, you know, like it's all like mental, like all the mental stuff is what I don't love that I do to myself. So it's nothing about YouTube that I don't love. I love everything about YouTube. I love you guys, and I love just the process. I love everything. Okay, sorry, my computer, my camera's gonna die. I need to talk faster. Will Jeff be going back to work in an office anytime soon? Just waiting on Corona to be done. I'm gonna make a separate video all about this because it is a very complicated situation. And how did you get into dance and the Disney scene? My parents put me into dance when I was little, and I auditioned for Disney. Go to college, what for if so? So I did go to college. I had a bit of a weird college journey. I always knew that I wasn't going to go to a 4-year sleepaway school because I wanted to pursue performing. So I went to a community college. I got my associate's degree, and then I went to Hunter College on the Upper East Side of Manhattan for 1 semester. I was going for media studies, and then I booked the Disney job, and I never went back. So that's my college journey. Do you plan on co-sleeping with baby number 2? No, we don't plan on co-sleeping. I don't have anything against it. It's what we did with Hugo, but I think for our sanity, we would really love to be able to keep this baby in a bassinet and then transfer baby into a crib, and we plan on renting this new bassinet. Biggest difference between pregnancy 1 and 2? I would say probably the most glaringly obvious is just the level of nausea I had. I threw up with this pregnancy. I don't think I did with Hugo, maybe once. And this one has just been, I was more exhausted, more sick with baby number 2. Last question, how amazing is it to be living in your own space and not living with your parents? So if you're brand new here, when we moved back from Florida, we were living with my parents. We lived with my parents for, I think, almost 2 years, like a little under, maybe 18 months. And it was great living with them. I just like loved living with them, and it was so great, especially when Hugo was born, to have the help as I was recovering. But now that we have so much stuff, toddler stuff, and like baby proofing, all that stuff, like logistics, has made it a lot easier to have our own space, and I think they appreciate it too. They have like so much less stuff in their house. So yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty wonderful having our own space. All right, guys, and that's it for the Q&A. Thank you to everyone who sent in questions. If you want to be part of my next Q&A, make sure you follow me over on Instagram, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.